Hello friends. Today we delve into the captivating story of how the British East India Company, EIC, initially a modest trading firm, evolved into a colossal colonial empire, wielding enormous control over the diverse and expansive Indian subcontinent. Our journey begins in 1600, when a group of enterprising British merchants formed the East India Company, hoping to compete in the profitable spice trade in Southeast Asia. Facing fierce rivalry from established Dutch traders in the region, the British merchants soon redirected their ambitions towards India, recognizing its vast potential in spices, textiles, and other valuable resources. In 1608, the first expedition of the East India Company arrived in Surat, Gujarat. At the time, the powerful Mughal Empire ruled most of India. Initially, the British encountered resistance. Emperor Jahangir refused their trade request due to existing agreements with Portuguese merchants. Unfazed, the company moved southward, establishing its first successful factory in Machilipatnam, Andhra Pradesh in 1611. Soon after, in 1612, the British returned to Surat and decisively defeated the Portuguese traders at the Battle of Swali, marking a significant shift in trade influence in the region. By 1615, British diplomat Sir Thomas Roe secured trading rights from Emperor Jahangir through diplomacy and extravagant gifts. With these newly acquired privileges, the East India Company rapidly expanded its presence, establishing profitable trade factories in strategic cities such as Madras, Ahmedabad, Bombay, Agra, and Patna. The trade products diversified to include cotton, silk, indigo, spices, tea, and opium, generating immense wealth for the company. A major turning point occurred in 1670, when King Charles VI of England bestowed exceptional privileges upon the company, including the right to mint currency, raise private armies, and even declare war. Emboldened by these powers, in 1686, the EIC made the ill-advised decision to wage war against Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, leading to a disastrous defeat. Despite this setback, the company patiently bided its time, waiting for the right opportunity. Aurangzeb's death in 1707 dramatically weakened the Mughal Empire, sparking internal power struggles and invasions from external forces. Taking advantage of this instability, the East India Company aggressively pursued expansion, particularly into Bengal, an economically prosperous region critical for their trade ambitions. In 1717, Mughal Emperor Farrukhsiyar granted significant trading concessions to the EIC, including tax exemptions. Exploiting these privileges severely impacted local revenues and weakened Mughal authority. Simultaneously, European competition in India intensified, particularly from France. The British and French rivalry culminated in the Carnatic Wars, 1786 to 1763, where the British emerged victorious, drastically reducing French influence. The decisive moment in the company's quest for dominance came in 1757 with the Battle of Plassey. Through strategic alliances, bribery, and political intrigue, the EIC defeated Nawab Siraj-ud-Dawla of Bengal. They installed Mir Jafar, a puppet ruler, solidifying British influence. Subsequent conflicts, including the pivotal Battle of Buxar in 1764, further entrenched British control, resulting in the Treaty of Allahabad in 1765, which granted the company official administrative control over Bengal's revenue. To consolidate power further, the company introduced strategic policies like the Subsidiary Alliance, forcing local rulers to disband their armies and pay the British for protection. Another cunning policy was the Doctrine of Lapse, enacted in 1847, allowing British annexation of territories where rulers had no natural heir. Prominent regions such as Satara, Nagpur, Jhansi, and Awadh fell under British rule through these means. By the early 19th century, the East India Company had secured vast territories, controlling most of the Indian subcontinent directly or indirectly. However, mounting dissatisfaction among the Indian populace reached a boiling point, resulting in the revolt of 1858-57. Although ultimately unsuccessful, this uprising significantly weakened the company's position, prompting the British Crown to dissolve the East India Company and establish direct colonial rule, the British Raj, in 1858. Thus, the remarkable era of the East India Company concluded, transforming from a modest trading entity into one of history's most powerful and contentious colonial empires. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, don't forget to subscribe for more insightful and engaging historical content. Thanks for watching.